Hey, what's going on, guys? Peace and blessings to you all. It's Thursday morning, at least I think it is, and I'm just getting ready to hit the gym. Just over here at Starbucks, having my early morning coffee. And in this video, I want to talk about gangsters and hoes. You know, gangsters and hoes. You know, nowadays, when you think of a gangster or a hoe, you know who you think about. You know what demographic of people you think about. You know, you think about black folks, so to speak. Even though we know that there is no such thing as a black person, neither is there anything as a white person, right? There's red and there's brown, and then there's everything else in between, all the other derivatives, you know, but that's neither here or there. That's neither here nor there. This video is obviously about gangsters and hoes, and you know, there's been this, I mean, right now you could actually say that when you know, gangsters, most gangsters, at least street level gangsters, are, you know, so-called ninjas, you know. But the first time I ever saw a gangster, it was a so-called white man on TV. You know, he was a cowboy or something, you know, running around drunk as a skunk, terrorizing the whole town, in cahoots with the, you know, with the sheriff. And when he wasn't in cahoots with the sheriff, you know, the sheriff just wouldn't do anything. The sheriff was scared. That was a gangster, you know. When I started seeing, you know, black folks with guns on TV, it just kind of looked out of place. I was like, wait, what's going on? Who are these guys? You know, like, why do these guys have guns? You know, why do my brothers have guns? When you talk about hoes, you know, the first time I ever saw anybody like really dressed inappropriately was a so-called white woman. But this you know, this whole narrative that we are the worst. I mean, well, first of all, when you think about the word black, what it actually means, when you go into the definition of the word black, I mean, you'll never want to call yourself black ever again. Void of light, you know, deceitful, useless. I mean, I'm just thinking of all the synonyms, but I'm not even going to pull it up, because what I saw was just like, you know, what I saw was bitter, angry, you know, just, honestly, I can't even remember. It was repulsive. So I am not black. We are not black. Okay? Point blank, period. And you are definitely not white. Okay? You gave our brothers and sisters all these guns. You gave our brothers the guns. You gave our sisters, you brainwashed our sisters, you know. It's just, I mean, it's just, it is what it is. But nowadays, most black folks that you come, you know, come in contact with are just messed up in the mind. They're just destroyed. Our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, for the lack of knowledge of who they are, you know, for lack of knowledge of who they are. You know, I'm going to say these things. I'm going to say these things because, I mean, just think about our, just think about our society for a second, and how dysfunctional we are as a people, and how, you know, how we've been painted to be this thing that we're not. I mean, we're a very lovable people. We're a very repentant people. We're a very godlike people. We're a very God-fearing people. You know, we're a very forgiving people, and that's why all these nations, you know, think that they can continue to, you know, to keep us down and oppress us because we will forgive. The time of forgiveness is over. Okay? The time of forgiveness is over. And that's just, you know, that's just the mindset that you have to carry around now. You got all this smoke for your brothers and your sisters, but when it comes to the, you know, to the other people who treat you like trash on a daily basis, you got no smoke whatsoever. You got nothing to say. You know, that's how a lot of y'all act. I mean, it's disappointing, but It is what it is. It's the conditioning. You've been conditioned to dislike your own kind, you know? And when I say dislike, I'm being, you know what word I really want to use, the H word. But you've been conditioned to despise your own people. And all these nations they're just loving it. They're just eating it up. They're just watching it. When we are the cream of the crop, we are the greatest people on the planet. We dominate every aspect of culture, every aspect of society, every fabric, of society and culture. We dominated, even in the areas or in the industries where we're not really represented, like tennis or what have you, or golf, And that's just a fact. It's just because we are the salt of the earth. We are the chosen people. We are the biblical, the ancient bloodline, the ancient royal bloodline of the Israelites. We are them. And we deserve the absolute best. We're not settling for less. You got to go out there and take this thing. Got to go out there and take what's yours. Lawfully, obviously. Go out there and take what's yours lawfully. And the time is going to come when you'll see all these nations are going to come bowing down to us, because the Most High God is about to reveal who his chosen ones are. And you best believe it's us. You best believe. That's just a fact. There's no disputing it. And I'm not arguing with nobody. I said what I said. We are the greatest people on the planet. We are the cream of the crop. We are the salt of the earth. Okay? Point blank, period. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? I'm not debating. I'm not arguing. I said what I said. But I'm just, I'm just hitting that record button. I'm just giving you all that 10 minutes. Like I would expect, like I would hope that y'all would start giving me some 10 minutes. I'm talking about regular, average folks. I want to hear what y'all got to say. Hit that record button. 10 minutes. Let's talk about our black family. You know what I mean? Let's talk about our black family. Let's talk about revival. Let's talk about, and it can only be done with the scriptures, with the word of the Most High God. That's it. Nothing else. No other way. All these guys like Umar and all of that. All these religions and, nah. The Bible is our heritage. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. We are the true Christians we're the Christians in the true sense of the word. But obviously, you gotta be keeping the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, especially in these times, because judgment, the judgment is real. People are out here getting jacked up. Don't think that it can be you. Don't think that it cannot happen to you. Don't think that the Most High ain't. You better get your act together. Okay, you better get your act together. You see how these people treat us. You see how these people want to represent us. So you better get your whole life together. And I say that's, I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. I'm doing everything I can, to make sure that everything is exactly where it needs to be. But we as a people, we got to get our life together, man. We got to get our act together, because this ain't it. The sooner we get our act together, the sooner the Most High, our Messiah cracks those skies and comes to deliver us from the hands of all of them that hate us, from the hands of all our enemies. Because I just dropped the H word, which I really didn't want to drop because of this friggin' algorithm, But I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, whatever. I'm just like, whatever. It is what it is. So I don't even know, half the time, I don't even know what to say right now. I just, I'm going to start dropping. It's just that I've really been on the road, just getting some things together, getting some things in order. But, you know, it's going to be nothing but scriptures. It's going to be mostly scriptures because, you know, a lot of times when I drop nothing but scriptures, y'all act like y'all ain't feeling it. You know, y'all act like y'all ain't feeling it. Y'all ain't feeling it. And it's cool. I get it. 2/3 shall be cut off and die. You know, 2/3 of you so-called Israelites, you ancient, the ancient bloodline, the true, the Negroes, the Latinos, the Native Americans. The Most High God tells us that you will not repent, that you will want nothing. You know, that you will not turn your heart back to the Lord. So hey, but you know, I gotta get the blood off my hands. I gotta do what I gotta do regardless. And that's what I'm doing. I'm, you know, by preaching this gospel, by you know, I let y'all know what time it is. Like, y'all gotta get your act together. You know, all this hating on each other and just, you know, just acting any kind of way. I was at the gym the other day, and this, I mean, I'm not even gonna get into, you know, like just niggas. They don't know how to act. You know, they don't know how to act. But it is what it is, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm just over here at Starbucks, getting my coffee. I got my coffee. I was gonna go in for a little bit, maybe get on my laptop and, you know, get a little bit of work done, and then hit the gym. But it is what it is. Like I said, I just thought I'd come on here, drop that 10 minutes real quick. I don't know how many minutes it is right now, but whatever it is, you know, we're just gonna keep it as it is. And I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Peace.